And once again, you're listening to Talkin Pets. I'm John Patch.
I'm Gino Sassani.
And I'm Zach Butte.
And I want to welcome onto the program right now Robin Bennett. Robin is a certified professional dog trainer, author, speaker, and expert of dogs. She actually is the co-founder of Dog Gurus, and her books are all about dog daycare, off-leash dog play, and knowing dog staff training. You can find out more information about Robin Bennett and her organization at thedoggurus.com. Robin, welcome to Talkin Pets. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's wonderful to have you on the show with us, and I know you got some great tips for us. And I understand, I think that, is it true that you have the largest dog training company in Virginia?
I actually did. I sold it a couple years ago and moved out to Colorado, but one of my trainers still owns it, so it still exists out there in Virginia.
So you're going to tell us about dog daycare and, being actually the fact that, COVID, things are, I want to say that it's going back to normal, but I guess it's going to a new normal right now. And you've got some great tips for people specifically about that have their businesses, like pet sitting businesses and also daycares and all. So can you fill us in on some safety tips that they need for moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody should be trying to get some activity for their dog right about now. I think we've been home with our dogs for a long time, and that's been great for the dogs, but I think they might be ready to have a change of scenery. So many daycare, pet sitting, dog trainers, boarding facilities, they're all opening up now. And the main concern that they're going to have and should be having is to keep their staff safe and to keep the pet parents safe. So a lot of cleaning protocols, a lot of contactless drop-off, a lot of policies and procedures that might be a little bit different. But as for the dogs, for the most part, there's very little chance of anything COVID-related being passed to or from the dog. So really, it's one of those times I would take advantage of getting the opportunity to have your dog out and have some fun. Let your dog have some fun with his playmates and take him to some of these facilities.
You see that, you were mentioning the fact that, people were working from home and everything and so on and so forth, so they spent a lot of time with their dogs. But then when they go back to work and back to their offices, and these dogs may be left alone and not left with a pet sitter or at like a kennel or whatever, there is going to be separation anxiety, but not only for the dogs, but also for the parents, the pet parents too, right?
That's exactly true. That's actually one of the concerns that trainers have really had about this whole pandemic and being home with the dogs is just making sure that the dogs are okay when pet parents start going back to work and leaving them at home again. But there are a little bit of people that are going to be separated from their dogs, and they're going to miss that as well. So finding a really good person that can help you out, and there's great tools out there that I would recommend for anybody looking at any kind of pet care professional, really making sure that person has education and training and certification. All of those are really important because this whole pet industry, for the most part, with all those services, it's really unregulated. So you really want to make sure you do your homework in terms of finding the right person to care for your pet. That'll help to ease your stress a little bit.
So, Robin, if somebody's looking to find a place for their dog when they go back to work, what's your recommendations on certain aspects of housing dogs?
I would really look at, first of all, how their staff is trained. And one of the best organizations out there that does independent certifying of employees of pet care facilities is called the Professional Animal Care Certification Council. So PAC is a really good way. It's an independent certifying body. So going to their website and trying to find certified pet care professionals is a great starting point because now at least those people have education to a certain level that they have standards that they're trying to live up to in terms of taking care of the pets. That's probably the biggest thing I would make sure of. And then the obvious things like, interviewing the person, making sure you're comfortable, that your pet seems happy with the person, because we obviously want to make sure the pets are happy, also will help to make sure that you're making a good decision in terms of who is taking care of your pet.
I got to ask you, with your company, it's called the Dog Gurus. So what exactly do you do at Gurus?
What we do is we are actually a staff training and a business consulting program. So we work with daycares and boarding facilities all over the world to offer them training programs to help educate their staff. And then we also do business planning and business growth consulting for companies that have pet care businesses as well. I personally am a dog trainer, so we do a lot of consulting with just how to train dogs for those staff members as well. So lots of education, lots of business programs, and just helping people survive, not just the pandemic, but anytime, how to grow your business. So we really work with a lot of businesses around the world.
That's pretty fascinating. That's a pretty cool. Business you got going there.
Yeah, we kind of stumbled into it over the years, but yeah, we and my business partner Susan Briggs have really enjoyed it. It's one of our passion is really taking really good care of the dogs, and we do that by teaching those pet businesses how to take really good care of the dogs, and ultimately those businesses are helping pet parents. So I feel like we are on, in our own way, helping dogs all over the world just get better care by helping the business owners who actually see those dogs and the pet parents on a daily basis.
So for people out there that are listening right now and they have a business, like a grooming business or daycare or pet sitting, training, whatever, how do you give them an example? How do you get these people to return to the business? You know what I mean? If they go once, what's a good policy to get them to come back?
A lot of it has to do with customer service. So really, it's a service industry, and at the very root, it's all about relationship building. So really, you can't just take a number, I'll take care of your dog, and, automate everything. I love automation. But when it comes down to it, our business is really about relationships. So trying to find ways to really reach out and meet and touch and, get to know the pet parents that are bringing their dogs, and having programs that are really individualized and tailored to that specific dog really helps. So we really will talk about people, getting on the phone and reaching out to those pet parents and finding out how they're doing through this COVID situation and offering services that are going to help them, helping them to just manage the stress that they're under as well as that their dog's under. So it's all about building relationships, and the better you can do that, the more success you're going to have in this kind of an industry.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially almost in any industry is like it's very important to network and build relationships because you really have to earn someone's trust. You can't just walk in and, expect everything like a miracle to happen. Not these days. It's not.
Give me everything
Exactly.
now.
It's not like it was in the old grandma and grandpa days or whatever in the businesses where now big corporations and everything. How do you recommend like them maybe putting on certain events to attract people?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. In normal days where there wasn't all the social distancing, we would recommend doing parties and events all the time. And to some extent, people are still doing that, but they're doing them on, virtual, on Zoom conferences or on Facebook. Any kind of thing that you can encourage them to get out with their dog and have fun with their dog. And the big trend that we've seen in the industry, because I've been in this industry for over 20 years, is the fact that it's no longer people just want to drop off their dog and you take care of them and they'll come and pick them up. They want to do stuff with their dog. So anything you can provide where the whole family can come out, there's parks now that have restaurants and a dog park attached so that the whole family can go eat and the dog can go play. There's movie theaters now that offer places where dogs can come and watch the movie with their pet parents. So anything you can do that brings the family together like that. Yeah,
actually, that's a cool idea. I like the movie thing.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't think my cat would go too well with a bunch of dogs in the theater. But
that might not go over well.
No.
But
She'd probably just want to sit on your lap there in your seat there, John.
She'd claw my eyes out. One dog came up to her. She probably would. But Robin Bennett, you are co-founder of the Dog Gurus. You're an author as well of a couple of books all about dog daycare, off-leash dog play, and also knowing dog staff training. And people can find out more about you and your company at the doggurus.com, correct?
that's correct.
Sounds good. Congratulations on a really cool business. That's a great idea what you're doing.
Cool.
Thanks. And if anyone has any questions or you have questions about your